is in the culture. Welcome to D-Zone. Yeah, we taking over. You might be alone or looking for love. We're live every Monday. Listen to us. Sit back and relax. Tune in and take a listen. Funny to the max. D-Zone's what you missing. There's no judgment here. We get deep in the zone. Open conversations go on and on. We too hype on the mic and stay true to ourselves. Just like an open book, we tell how we feel. This right here is for the sexy and grown. Turn the volume up, cause it's the D-Zone.
Yeah. What it do? It's your girl, D-Nice. And you are now live into the D-Zone podcast, baby. Yes, sir. It's March 20th, 2023. Like I said before, I'm your girl, D-Nice. I got a crazy show for you guys today. But before I get into that, I need you guys to make sure you go follow me on social media, on the gram, at the D-Zone Podcast. And also subscribe to our YouTube at the D-Zone Podcast. Listen, the more you subscribe, the more content I can put out, the more my numbers go out. You know, we just work together. So I just need you guys to click that button for me. All right? Remember, you can be a part of this podcast tonight. Simple. It's very, very simple. All you have to do is call me up at 443-961-2247. Now, let me say that once again, because, you know, I do talk a little fast. So let me slow it down. It's 443-961-2247. Now, you can call in, ask questions, tap in, shout it out, do whatever you need to do. We want to hear from you. Now, let's get in tonight's show. I don't know if you guys tuned in, but we had a realtor. We had actually a realtor and a broker. A lender. I get them confused all the time. I know they deal with money. We had two of them, but we had to bring my realtor back, Chaz, because she said, you know what, Nice? I have somebody in my bag that I want to bring to your podcast. And he goes by the name of Mr. Charles Eddington. They are representing the Noakes Eddington Homes Group. I need you guys to give it up right now for Chaz and Mr. Charles Eddington. Let's go. They're not together. But you know, I just said your name last. I got to put that, you know. How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Chaz. Welcome, Charles.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys coming to the D-Zone. Like I said before, this is a big deal for me. For y'all to be here to drop gems on my show, this is big. So I appreciate you guys. All right, so let's just get right into it. Y'all ready? Well, Chaz, I started with you last time because, you know, you've been here already. So I want to start with Mr. Charles over here. All right? Mr. Charles, first of all, okay, so Charles is the name, and you are a realtor.
Yes.
Okay, and so you specialize in commercial and?
Well, residential.
Okay.
Residential is my thing.
All right.
But I am diving into commercial.
Nice.
Which is it's a beast there, but there's a lot of education and money to be made. When we look at Baltimore in general or Maryland, we see a lot of commercial projects going on. So
absolutely.
We see a lot of stuff going on. So I figure I might as well educate myself and start diving into it.
Absolutely. So let me just ask you really quickly, what made you want to become a realtor? I mean, you know, I see a lot of realtors nowadays. It's a lot of you guys. So what made you become a realtor?
Yep. So for me, I have been investing in real estate for 16 years.
Nice.
On my last flip, Chaz approached me and wanted to be my agent, and I said, all right, I'll go with it. But I told her there's one caveat. The terms that she wanted to list my property for. I said, well, I'm getting ready to be a realtor, and if it doesn't sell, then I'm going to be my own realtor. The reason I got into it and wanted to be a real estate agent was I just wanted the opportunity to touch more people and help them understand the benefits of home ownership and being and owning property. So I thought that this would just give me another notch on the belt to help me reach even more people instead of being in my investor bubble. So that's why I became a realtor.
That's what's up. So are you born and raised in Baltimore City?
No, I was actually born in Germany.
Nice.
My parents were military.
Okay.
We moved to a couple of states. My mom is from Baltimore.
Nice.
And then so I ended up here in Baltimore.
Okay, that's what it is. So now we got a little bit of background of you real quick. You ain't born and raised, but you here. That's what it is. I like it. All right, so this is actually a question for both of you guys. And again, I just want to get more into what it is like being a realtor. That works. Okay, so if you guys can tell me pros and cons of being a realtor. Like, what are the goods and bads of being a realtor? Because, you know, to be honest, as me, like, I see realtors, y'all got the bag. To me. You know, so, like, what is it? Like, because all we see is the glitz and glamour.
So I'll start.
Okay.
One of the pros of being a realtor is obviously that we're able to help people reach their goal of home ownership. So that is the most important goal, and that's what we need to focus on with each and every client, is to get them to the goal of purchasing a home.
Okay.
I think another pro would be we get to meet and interact with different people. We are able to put ourselves on different platforms in which we are able to talk, we meet different people, and expose, you know, what home ownership is and those things. A con, I would say gas.
Yeah, gas. That's all out of pocket up front.
Absolutely. So we pay for gas, going to see homes and those kind of things. So I would say that is it.
That's the con of well, if that is it, I am in the wrong profession. If that is it.
Well, you know what? For me, so, you know, I'm a newer agent,
Okay.
and I'm realizing that the con for me is that when I'm working with my buyers, particularly, and they, you know, see a property that they love, if we're unable to win that property, if our contracts don't get accepted, and, you know, I feel like you know, I don't look at my clients as a number. You know, like, they're humans. I get to know them. I get to know their family. So when I see a property that they love and they're excited about it, but then we don't get it, I'm wondering, like, what else is it that I could have done? Like, how did I mess up? How did I lose? Because now, like, this isn't a home that they're not going to get. And I know how I felt when me and my family found our home, and I want them to get that feeling. And when they don't, I'm like, man. So that really, you know, weighs on me. So that's the biggest con for me.
Understood. I could definitely imagine that. Okay, so what do you think is the common mistakes for first time home buyer? The common mistake. What do we do that you guys?
Listening to everybody else that's not the professional.
Facts. I can say that.
Jeez.
Definitely.
Like, just listen to your realtor. You know, let your realtor guide you through that process. Listen to that lender. Let them guide you through the process. The title company that you're working with, they're the pros. Let them be on your team. Know that you can text them. You can call them. You can reach them. My clients are texting me now. I can feel my watch buzzing. I know that I'm getting some emails, some contracts coming in. So listen to them and talk to them. Let them be a part of your team and help you throughout the process. Help you get there.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to have a good team behind you. I mean, even in your situation, you know, when the realtor and the lender work hand in hand together, having that team and that solid foundation is very important. And that's what we spoke of before, is having the right team to back you up, you know. And sometimes we can't always say, yes, we'll go out and see this house.
Yeah.
You know, we're available to see this house at this moment, at this time, because obviously we have other clients. But knowing that you have a team that's working with you and for you to purchase your home.
So would you say, like, the relationship between the realtor and the buyer is very important?
Absolutely.
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 Because, like, you know, have you ever had a, you know, you don't have to say any things, but just an experience. Have you ever experienced, like, you know, maybe the person that you took out didn't drag you along or wasted your time? How do you, as a realtor, be like, look, you know, because we really want to be ourselves and be like, hey, yo, you wasting my time, but you guys are professionals. So how do you take that step back and be like, or even recognize that someone is wasting your time?
I think sometimes people they like the idea of looking at houses. But knowing that and just going out looking at houses, and then if it, you know, you tend to notice a pattern, unfortunately. However, you know, sometimes there needs to be a conversation had to regroup and say, hey, what are you looking for? Because we've looked at however many homes. What is it exactly that you look at, and probably narrow down some of the things. So then at that point, you know whether they're serious or not. But let's not forget, the pre-approval does not last forever. So we can't look forever. The pre-approval is typically 90 days.
Okay, 90 days.
And then we have to do it again.
And so when you mean pre-approval and you mean 90 days, can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
So the lender will pre-qualify you based off of the information that you've provided to them, and then they'll issue a pre-approval. Once they issue the pre-approval, at that point, the realtor, myself and Chuck, or our team, will take you out to look at homes based off of the criteria. The pre-approval for us, we just need to know the dollar amount in which you qualify for, and then everything else will work on our end, meaning the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, those kind of things, single family versus row home, whatever the specifics are that you want. But we'll, based off of the pre-approval, what you qualify for financially, and then go from there. And again, that's good for 90 days. And then after that.
Got you. So let's just say we say the lender says like, yo, you're approved for $300,000. Would you suggest a first-time buyer to go out and search for a home for $300,000? Or would you do something less than, or how would you coach that person, or how would you do that?
So
Go ahead.
I'll
You go.
say in this market right here, right now,
yes,
it was different when you purchased. Now, I will say yes, we can look at a home for $300,000.
And why do you say that though?
Because the market has shifted. So this market isn't what it was in 2020, 2022, 2021. This market is now, the market has shifted. I advise all my seller clients, we are getting offers with seller help. So things are a little different now, whereas we're going in at asking price. Some offers may come in under, but yes, we are going in at asking, potentially ask for seller help, ask for grants. You know, the economy has definitely shifted from what it was then. So now it is a good idea that you can potentially go up to whatever that asking price is.
Nice.
I mean, I just had I spoke to another agent. I took a client out over the weekend. I spoke to the agent and he's like, I mean, you know, they're looking at offers even under.
Was you gonna touch on that?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay,
No. Chaz hit it.
Chaz got that. Okay, you know, this how they do it. Teamwork. Chaz got that?
Teamwork.
I got that. Let me fall back. All right, let me ask you, what type of challenges do you real estate agents, face in 2023? Now, you just talked about the market was crazy. Are there any more challenges that you guys are facing that are different from 2022 or before?
Right. I mean, so I think the biggest thing is the market, and when we say the market, there's so many pieces that play a part in it. So right now, the biggest thing that everybody hears about are the interest rates, right? Interest rates changing, and now we got major banks shutting down, so you don't know which way things are about to go, right? So that's scary,
Absolutely.
So one of the things that we try to tell home buyers specifically is to don't marry the rate. Don't marry the rate. Don't be so attached to it that you're scared to buy your home, because the rates are one thing that we can say, may change sooner or later. So you can buy your home with a higher interest rate now, but then you may have the opportunity to refinance. But what's not going to come back around is that home that you fell in love with when you walked in there and you thought that you saw you and your family, or you saw yourself starting your family there. That home may not be there. So, that's a big challenge. And I think a new challenge that I saw, because of the pandemic, it exposed how people can work from anywhere and work home, right? So I recently had a buyer where they would move anywhere in Baltimore. So we weren't locked down to one area or a specific area because of work. They didn't have children or wife, so it wasn't about I need to be close to a school or something. But literally, they were like, I can look at any house anywhere. So now we were just looking all over Maryland to find a house. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but we worked through it and just built that relationship to narrow down on what do you want, so that way we can look at specific areas.
All right, Charles, this is for you. So you talk about banks closing. How does that affect a buyer or a seller? Like you said, it's scary, but in terms of these rates and all this, what is the effect on that?
Yeah, right. So we don't know what's going to happen when these banks close, right? We don't know if we're going to see the interest rates shoot up or go down. Right now, they kind of trickled up, but now they kind of stand in place. I think that, the economy is just waiting to see what else is going on or what's going to happen to determine which way the rates are going to go. So we're just like in this limbo phase right now. So hopefully it's not anything that's going to shoot the rates up much higher, because people see these 7% interest rates and they get scared. But the truth is that a 7% interest rate, some years ago was normal. It was normal for people to get those rates. This is a much lower interest rate at 7% than it was when people were paying 18%, interest rate to buy a home. So they have to understand that aspect too. So when you have a good realtor, like they will explain that so that you can understand that, hey, I know it's scary because you remember 2 years ago people were getting interest rates in the 2s and 3s and things like that, and now you're upset or you're scared because it's 7%. But this is a typical time and a typical rate that people should be can buy a house.
You're not just saying that because you're a realtor, are you?
Nope,
Okay.
no need, no need.
There's always that question. You're just saying that.
No, so you know what? Since you said that, one of the things that I tell my clients, so when I meet people, is that I'm not rushing you to buy a house or to sell your house, right? So like I said, I was an investor still am an investor for 16 years. So I've built up a portfolio of rental properties and I've done flips. So that's given me some backbone to say I don't have to rush somebody to sell a home to try and get a commission. Right, so I want to work with you and build that relationship to help you really find a home. And I truly mean that. I want you to have the same feeling that me and my wife had when we found our home. When we pulled up to it before we went in, we were just sitting in the car looking at the house like, this is it. And when we walked into the foyer, when we opened up that front door, the feeling that we had, the excitement that we had, we knew this was our home, and I want to experience that with my clients.
How do you guys get clients though? Like how do I know that Charles is a realtor? How do I know if Chaz is a realtor if I wasn't following you on the gram? And if I didn't come to the first time home buyers program, how do you guys get us?
So obviously social media is a big push.
Okay.
Here's a plug. We are having a happy hour on April the 13th. It will be at the Point in Fells Point. It is free. Registration is on Eventbrite for you to register to come out. So we do host those kind of events. We host different events. Social media is big, and just word of mouth. It's basically about connecting with people, and again, getting out there to let everyone know, hey, I'm a real estate agent. That way, you talk to one person, they refer you to someone else, and then you build up your referral network.
That's what it is. Because I definitely refer all day. Make sure y'all hit them up if you need a house. Please say thank you. Tell them the D-Zone sent you. All right. So what investment strategies do you guys have most success with as far as being a realtor? Or I should say, you've been investing for what you said, 16?
Yeah.
So
16 years.
what investment strategies have you been most successful with?
Yeah. So mine's is a method called the BRRRR method. So it's the BRRR method, if you know about it. So you buy a property, you renovate it, you rent it out, you refinance it, and then you repeat. So that's the BRRRR method. So that's been my most successful method right there. It's allowed me to purchase, apartments, single family homes, and renovate them, have the properties at a low price. Then when I appraise the property, it appraises for, maybe 2.5 times the actual money I have into it. So when that happens and I refinance the property, so let's say I buy a property and I'm all in at $50,000. When they refinance it refinances at $175,000. The bank will say, all right, you can take 80% of this money out. So now I can take 80% of that money out. I can use that money, and then I can go and buy another property. So this is why it's important for people to understand, the value of home ownership, because you may not want to be an investor, but think about what that money can do if you yourself are going back to school. So you need money for tuition, all right? You may be able to pull out a home equity line of credit, or you can refinance your property, or if you have children that are going to school, right? So these are things that we have to understand and just change the narrative and change the conversation about home ownership and investing. I think a lot of people always think that investing is, you own this business or a part of this business and things like that. Well, no, investing can just be, well, listen, I bought my home because the value was going to appraise, and I know that I have this child, and when this child gets to this age, my home will be, should be appraising here, and I can use this money to take them to, to send them to school. That's an investment.
Absolutely. So, lately on Instagram, social media, we talk about social media and how big social media is. I've been seeing a lot of, I don't know if they're realtors, but I don't even know if it's true, but I see a lot of people talk about how you can use other people's money to do flips, investments. Do you think that's a smart way to start investing? Because, it's a lot of people out here who wants, they're saying it, they advertise it. Oh, you can make $16,000 in like a month just by flipping this home using other people's money. Is that like a smart way, or?
So it's all about what works for you. So
Okay.
so I tell people the same thing when they're buying a home, right? So you may be approved for $300,000, but does that monthly payment work for you? So, does it work for you to borrow money from someone else to purchase a home? Can it be done? Yes. I mean, I've done it. I still do it. Use other people's money to purchase it. It just depends on your business and how does it benefit. How does it benefit your business? At the end of the day, you always want to try and look at things like this. If you use your cash, if you use your own cash, right, and something happens, now you don't have that cash to go and get to take care of what you need to take care of. So if you can use other people's money for an investment, and then that investment pays you back whatever you need to pay on it per month and extra, then that's the position that you want to be in. But you also have to look at it. It's a cost when you borrow that money. So it's different things that you have to look at when you have a strategy like that.
Gotcha.
And the other thing too is that people also think just on the regular residential home buyer, first-time home buyers, when it comes down to grants are.
I was just about to say
right,
this.
They can also increase your interest rate, and there could be a stipulation on the back end as far as however long you own the home, or those kind of things. So when you think about other people's money, even when it looks at grants and what could be in addition to you, it could be a potential second mortgage. But obviously that's a conversation to have with the lender. But you have to think about that.
Yeah.
If you use a grant versus paying less money on the front end, then you may pay more in the back end because on your mortgage, because your interest rate could be higher.
Yeah.
If you don't use a grant, spend your money up front, and then don't use a grant, then you could potentially get a lower interest rate. But again, that's a question for a lender.
What works for you?
Right. It just depends on where you are.
Okay, that's what it is. So talk a little bit about you guys, your business, Noakes Charles.
Yep.
What is it? What is it? Say it. Tell me. Talk to me nice.
The Noakes Eddington Home Group.
Yes, I want you guys to say it correctly because I will screw up a name really quickly. So talk to us about the services that you guys provide. We know that you guys, help us look for homes for for our dream homes. So tell us what you guys offer us.
So we are the Noakes Eddington Home Group.
Okay.
It's Chuck and myself. And then we also have agents under us who work with us.
Bosses.
We are completely a team.
Shout out to the team. Shout out to the team real quick. So Stacy, Miss Yvette,
Facts.
AJ, Siobhan, shout out to them. They're doing an awesome job. Just wanted to give them a shout out.
There you go.
Absolutely,
No,
yes,
all love.
yes. So we have our team, and we are a full service real estate group. Where we will be able to assist you from the beginning to the end of your goal to home ownership.
So you guys have like everybody in the pocket. So like you guys know exactly where to go, like lenders and
we can refer you to what you
okay,
need.
okay.
Right. So if you need a lender, we have lenders we can refer you to. If you need the title companies, so of course we have title companies. If you need an inspector, we got that. And then one of the things that Chaz and I both have is Chaz deals with a lot of investor clients, right, that fix and flip homes and then put them on the market, right? So that comes with a lot of other resources, meaning contractors to do things, HVAC guys, your plumbers, whatever you need. Yeah. So there's, so Chaz has those resources and so do I. So that's one of the things that I'm able to provide to the team as well. The next thing that we stress to our team and tell them is this, listen, people are still buying properties, right? So if you see a property that comes on the market and your client's really excited about it, but you can't get there until Wednesday and the property's on the market on Monday, well, guess what? Somebody else on the team is available and we can say, all right, well, no, let's get out there on Monday. Let's get them out there first thing in the morning, Monday, to see the property when it comes on the market, because if it's a nice property and we want to get that offer in, then guess what? We saw it on Monday as soon as it came on the market.
Absolutely. That's what it is. So you guys talk about investments. So Chaz, I follow you on the gram, and I've seen you like literally go into a house. It looks like you gutted it out. So, like, that's your property, or is that someone else's? Like, talk to me nice.
Someone else's property.
Okay.
So, yes. So, what my clients do is pretty much what Chuck spoke about.
Okay.
Is that they go in, they find a house, an ugly house.
Okay.
And we make it beautiful.
So, wait. Let me make this clear. So, you're trying to tell me, I say, yo, Chaz, I like this property. I like this property. I want to put an offer down, and it works like that. Like if I'm buying this property, and then now you are giving me resources to fix it up.
So in that regards, if you're not an investor and you're a first-time home buyer, yes, you can purchase a
Fixer-upper.
A fixer-upper.
Okay.
And you can get a loan, which is a 203K loan.
Okay.
You can get that, and yes, we can help assist with the resources of the contractors because you need all of those things when
That
getting
is
a loan.
lit.
So that is an option for first-time home buyers.
That's like a one-stop shop type
Right,
of deal.
But it also, there are other stipulations.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are other stipulations. Price matters.
Okay.
Because obviously what the home will appraise for and what the construction and those kind of things, that is all funneled, and the lender would be the better person to see whether or not you can qualify for that.
Got you.
But again, those are options for first-time home buyers who are not quote-unquote investors, who obviously use different kinds of methods to purchase investment properties.
Got you.
But see, those are the conversations that we have to have more often, right? So just how you phrase that question, because you can also talk to somebody. Let's say you got a single person buying a home, or or a couple. So explain to them what their options are when they're looking at property. So the first thing most people think is, oh, like let me go and buy a single family home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, whatever it may be, right? But can we explore options of buying a 3-unit apartment building, right? Still using the FHA loan, right? Living in one of the units, renting out the other 2, having your mortgage paid, and also having income, right? So then you can live there for a certain amount of time, and then when you're ready, right, you can move into another property.
Yes.
Use this property
That right there.
to leverage
Absolutely.
buying your new property, because now you have income coming in. So what does the lender look at? The lender looks at your income. So now you can say, well, I have a cash flowing property. It's
Wow.
been cash flowing and it's documented. The lender can use that. And then now you have more buying power to buy your next home, which may or may not be your dream home. You could buy another 3-unit property and then go into, a big mansion later on, because you can
Facts.
leverage your apartment unit.
Facts. That's actually
And
dope.
they can actually use the initial one as income as well.
Yep. If you already have tenants in it and it's cash flowing,
Or even if you don't. Like I have a client now who we're looking at multifamilies.
Yeah.
So the lender is basing some of it off of what the potential income could be. So that rental in that, and they don't have tenants yet.
So what would you tell like a first-time home buyer who already purchased the property? Is it because you when you purchase your home first time, you go through all these loans process, your credit's being ran, but now they're in the house and they're like, dang, I wish I would have did the multi-property first. How can they still obtain that type of goal? Because I think it's like a
It
time
depends
period.
on what they want to do. No, will you still stay in your home or wherever your home is? Whether
Yeah.
you want to sell your home or keep your home.
Okay.
So if you look at it financially, is it, oh, I'm in that place where I know I can rent my home out. The lender can use whatever your rental potential is for your current home as income coming in for you to purchase another home. So that is an option. Or you can sell your home
Yeah.
in order to buy another home
Another
and
home.
use whatever proceeds you may earn from selling your home to purchase another home. So
Got
there
you.
are options, whether you want to rent out your current home or whether or not you want to purchase.
Got you. So that doesn't.
I'm sorry, sell.
That doesn't. We're not talking about Airbnbs. That's something completely different, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
That's a different lane.
Yeah,
Or is it?
Different? It's all about the plan, right? Because
Okay.
you might want to say, I'm gonna go and buy a multi-unit because with the purposes of Airbnb in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that could be your purpose. You know what I mean? If that's something that you want to do. So I would always suggest that you research whatever it is that you want to do with that property. So and know what the pros and cons of it is, and see if it works in whatever your end game is or your plan. So one of the things is we talking about investments and planning. So always know your exit strategy, right? So I don't care even if it's a home that you're just going to live in. So what's your exit strategy for this home when you're ready to give it up or let it go or something like that, right? So when I buy a property that's an investment, I already know how I'm buying a home. And I know what my exit strategies are. I know I'm selling this home. I know that if the market changes, I can rent this home out for X amount of dollars. Or I have enough money in it where I can say, all right, we'll stop right there. I can probably refinance it, get a lower payment now, and then rent it out. Whatever it may be, know your exit strategy, right? Know where you're going with it, so that way you can plan accordingly.
Absolutely. That's what it is. Oh, that's what it is. I just got thrown off. Okay, that was dope. commercial because I feel like I want to be a boss. Yo, Chaz made me feel like after I just purchased my first house, I'm like, all right, let's go find another one. Like that's just how
Let's
I
do
feel.
it.
Like, look, I'm ready. Like, let's do it. Like, you know, it's just like it's like once you get that bug, like it's a big responsibility. Like it changed my whole perspective when I moved in. I was like, all right.
But why is that?
here.
Because you don't have the landlord anymore, or you don't have the maintenance
right.
guy to call.
Exactly.
Because you are your own landlord.
Exactly, because when I was trying to put up my projector, I put 3 holes, like little nail holes. I was like, but wait, that's mine. Girl, you can put a whole nother hole in this wall. You know what I'm saying? But there's no one to come to fix it.
Right.
But me. So, I mean, it's great. I love it. I love being a homeowner. So, again, Chaz, thank you for bringing me to that
We
level.
talk about this. This is so funny. So when we pulled into the house, it's a similar story to when you said you guys purchased your home.
Yeah.
Because when I pulled up to the house, Donika had met the neighbors.
Yep.
Walked the entire block. Like legit walked around the entire block. I was like, yeah, I've already seen the backyard.
Right.
And I was like, really?
Yeah.
All before you got there?
All before she got there.
You got
And I think I was,
Yeah.
I think I was on time. I don't even think I
Yeah.
was late.
No, you wasn't.
Right, so that's how we knew like this has to be the house.
Absolutely.
Because, like legit met the whole neighbors. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
met her, met her.
Yep. And they was just telling me, you know, it was great. Like it was just a great vibe. I felt comfortable. I didn't feel like, you know, I felt like if anything was to go down, they had my back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how and they've been there for years.
Right.
I think that's important. How important is that to know, you know, when we go out to look for houses, how important is it for you to know your area? Like what would you tell your, you know, when we send you guys the list, you know, do you, cause I know Chaz had my back. She was like, hey, sis. This is nice, but you want to go around that way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do you
Yeah.
guys, I mean, Charles?
I do. I do. So when before we found this home, the realtor that we had at this time, we went and looked at a house, and he told us, he said, we left, and then he said, listen, I want you all to really look at this neighborhood and realize that everybody in the neighborhood may not like you. So whatever he was saying, he was telling us the best way that he could, you know, without saying anything wrong or doing anything wrong. And then I remember him saying that, and then we looked into it, and it wasn't the neighborhood for us. And so that always stuck with me. So when I'm taking people to homes and they looking at stuff and they're like, oh yeah, I like this, I like that. And then I ask them, because like I said, I get to know my clients.
Absolutely.
So then I say, well, is this going to fit this need or that need? And then I'll tell them, I want you to go and look at the property. I want you to go and look at the area, you know, this time and that time, you know, different times throughout the day, and make sure that it fits in to what the lifestyle that you want, or that what you want it to be. So I definitely tell them to look at the neighborhood.
I mean, remember we saw that one house, and I mean,
Which one?
The one.
You was like, no.
I said, absolutely not.
She called me before I even pulled up.
I
She
was like, no,
no.
Like they were legit, like selling. Houses.
Don't give no addresses.
yeah, please don't. But the
Okay,
house
no.
was nice on the list, like inside.
Yeah.
It probably was. We never went in.
Never went in, but the pictures were great. How many times have you guys got a listing like that was not like it was a false? Have you guys ever experienced that?
The thought process is obviously, you know, as a realtor, you're if you're selling a house for a client, you need to sell the house. So obviously photos matter to bring people into the house. So obviously the photos should look nice in order to draw the clientele in. But that's where you have to think about it is the realtor for the listing represents the seller. So they have the seller's best interest at heart. And the realtor for the buyer represents the buyer. So we have two different roles. Although we're still a realtor,
Yeah.
we have two different roles. So the realtor for the house is representing that client. So obviously they do what they have to do to sell the house because that's the client they're representing.
Yeah.
Now walking into a house, you're like, yeah, there's no stove. I didn't know that before I came.
Yeah, yeah.
Or whatever, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, because you put or you see whatever you see and think of those kind of things. Or I don't remember seeing this and it's missing a wall. Well, yeah, that picture didn't
It's
make
missing
it
a
to
wall.
The,
Right.
It didn't make it
That
to
picture
the
wasn't in the listing photos.
Exactly.
Right.
Because at the same time, that agent represents the seller. So they're doing their due diligence for the seller to get, you know, people out to view the property and potentially make an offer.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Now
that's
that-
the goal.
Now that agent should talk to their client and tell them some of the cons of the rehab that they did, or freshening up or not freshening up their home, to be prepared for sale. A good agent will talk to them about that, and once again, that comes with building that relationship with your client, so that you can pull them to the side and have that real conversation. Right?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And it's always good to walk your properties and see, or offer that additional support to say, I have this resource that they can paint this wall for you, or we can potentially fix something, because obviously that may draw in more attraction
Absolutely.
to the house, and
Absolutely.
potentially, increase it. So those are good things and good tips to give. But
Absolutely.
again, we have to remember that the agent for the seller represents the seller.
Nice. As a realtor, I know me, I was a tech. It was scary going to people's houses. Is it scary being a real estate agent? Do you guys have any fear? No, like, okay, I'm not even going to say like fears of going into houses. It's more so like you guys you did the whole work. I mean, you guys are there. You might have even got the offer, and it maybe your client was like, Chaz, I have a change of mind. I have a change of heart. Has that happened? Like, the process is almost sealed, almost there. Anybody withdraw?
I've had that. So I've had a client that withdrew complete change of heart after the home inspection.
It's scary.
And there is a contingency that you can withdraw based off of certain things with the home inspection. So there is an option. But the one thing that you have to let your clients know is that this is a legal document that you're signing, and you're putting yourself under contract for the purchase of this. Now, things could happen and fall apart, i.e. a home inspection, something comes up and you walk away. I had one client, she walked away from 2 houses after the home inspection.
So is there any penalty for that?
The downside is that she's already paid her money for the home inspection, so you don't get that back.
Okay.
Now, depending on what you walk away from, you can potentially get your earnest money, the money that you put down initially.
Hey, listen, that earnest money, that just
Funny story.
Hey, yo, when she just say earnest money, I just got triggered.
story.
I just got triggered.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you about that later, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
Listen, you better have your earnest money. That's all I got to say. You looking for you better have it, and you better have it on time.
Oh, my God.
Cringing. But, yeah, so the earnest money. So, yeah, we can potentially get that back. But, yeah, it has to be the right house. And I'll be honest, the third house that we saw with this particular client went in, the home inspection was completely flawless. I think it was like 2 things. And one was move the shed or empty the shed or something like that. It was just nothing that really came up on this third house that she actually did buy.
Nice.
Now, one of the houses had, I probably would have walked away. It had the electrical that's in the wall, in the floor. What is it called?
Oh, the heated floors?
No, not the heated floors. It's the, oh man, what is it called?
What? The electric underneath the floor?
Yeah, like the electric runs through the floors. It's called
Oh, knob and tube wire?
knob and tube. There we go.
What is that? That's some old school stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
old
very
wire. So it's really a
old.
tube, and these wires were going through the tube, and that's how they ran your electric.
Yeah, so we were kind of scared. Malcolm was actually the lender on this one. We were thinking that maybe it wouldn't go through because of the financing and everything.
Yeah.
But she backed out of it because, like, it really was like,
Outdated.
very much so.
Oh, yeah, that's a turnoff. I mean, that's just, a turnoff.
Yeah.
Period.
That was like one of the ones. This was when I first started out as an agent, like one of the first transactions that I had in my first year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have any regrets as a real estate agent? You guys ever, you guys have a lot of pressure as a real estate agent. I don't think people understand that. I mean, you guys are basically salesmen and women.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you guys have, you got families to feed, and again, you got people who say, yeah, I want to buy a house, and then they back out, like any regrets of you guys' daily?
So I don't have any regrets. Some days are more challenging than others. Some clients are more challenging than others. But again, I like to say, and I think I can hold this true to all my clients that I've had is that, you know, once I meet you, we're locked in.
Yeah.
And we're locked in for whatever it is. And I mean, I may not talk to you every day. I may not talk to you for a year, but I'm going to check in and make sure you're still good and we're still locked in. So that part of it is what I absolutely love as far as the connections with other people. So I don't have any regrets. Again, I got into real estate because I purchased my first home and it was different. And I said, I would love to do this. And that's what intrigued me about real estate. I never wanted to be, at the time, I didn't want to be an investor. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't realize until I became a homeowner what that means for my family, for my daughter. I didn't understand those things. And I was I was an adult, but, you know, really grasping that part of it and really understanding that. And that's what intrigues me and continues to help me grow, especially with working with clients, knowing what that means as far as home ownership and goals go. We were just talking about this because you said sell your house, and I was like, I'm never selling my house.
Facts.
And I literally said this, and that's like, I'm not selling my house.
And, you know, like, even so with the regrets, like no regrets for me. Like I just, you know, I think some days I do think about, like, well, you know, like, why was I chosen to do this? Or why was I, you know what I mean, why was I given opportunity to do this, right? Because things that we do, you know what I mean, is really an opportunity, right? And you should take advantage of your opportunities because you don't know what you're going to get out of them. And we were just talking about that. So, you know, I could have stayed in my bubble, just being an investor and rehabbing properties. But I felt as though that there was more that I wanted to do. So I'm using this road, you know, to get there, to figure out what that next thing should be. So, like, it's not a regret, but it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's just part of the journey, getting to the next thing.
But you had the best agent anyway, so you could.
I did. Listen. I had a great agent. I had a great agent when I did that first flip. I think we got what was it, 10 or 15,000 over on asking.
Nice.
And it was like 7 days. So that's
Chaz. That's all Chaz.
Yeah,
that's
so
what it is. So would you say that being a real estate agent is a way for like generational wealth? Is that like a opportunity to go, you know, in that direction?
So I'm not gonna say just being an agent.
Okay.
Right? Not just being an agent. So I think that you can use this as a tool.
Okay.
To understand the business.
Okay.
And understand the transactions. But you have to keep educating yourself on just the different facets of real estate, right? Because you have residential, commercial, you know, you got leases, you got land, so new builds. So it's a lot to it. So you have to learn like which road is going to be yours. And then, you know, which part of it is your passion too, right? Don't try to spread yourself all over and don't know everything or 100% of it. Like, what's your passion? And then, you know, then move on to the next facet of it after, you know, you've mastered it. And then, you know, you'll start to learn, you're like, hey, like, I'm real profitable here, but I'm not profitable here. Or I'm real strong here, but I'm not strong here. And then that's when you also start to look at teams.
Yeah.
You know, how can I benefit, you know, being on a team?
Yeah.
You know, and figuring out what works for you.
With that being said, how did you know that you wanted to link up? Like, how did you know you needed a team?
I didn't. You know what? When I came in as an agent, I said, what is the point of a real estate team? I did not get it. There was no point in having a team.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I had my own flips, so I was like, I could do this. You know, it was no thing. But then I think I just started to shift my mindset and say, well, you know what? It's a bigger opportunity for me to touch more people and to learn more working on a team. So the first person I talked to was Chaz. Chaz was the person that was my agent. So when I went to the same brokerage that she was with, which was Realty One Group Universal, I went there. And Chaz became my mentor, and Chaz gave me the same care as if I was her client, meaning that she still wanted to see me win. So when I had to do my very first contract, even up to now, like, Chaz holds my hand. She makes sure that I'm protecting my client. She makes sure that I'm, you know, doing the contracts the right way. And you don't get a lot of people like that just want to see you win, even though it's not a win for them, or, you know, putting something monetary in their pocket. Chaz isn't looking for that. And when I saw that and just that care and compassion, I was just like, you know what, like, it wouldn't make any sense like not to do more with her and grow with her. So I came to Chaz with the idea of starting the team, and I just laid it out there to her, and she received it, and then we just started rolling.
Absolutely. I can kind of piggyback off that. Not as a business partner, but just as a client. When I first met Chaz, it was just welcoming. I just felt like this is where I need to be. Like I didn't want to go nowhere else. Just the fact that, she just like, little sis, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yep.
That's it. And then she, the shrimp really played a part. That shrimp was so good.
Where y'all go for shrimp?
No, we had.
Because you know what, this is Chaz's secret. So I'm gonna tell you this. So one day Chaz said to me, Chaz said to me, she said, "Well, Chuck, you can do what you want with your clients, but sometimes I take my clients out."
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
No. She take me out.
I didn't
She
take
take me
out.
out.
Okay.
But I did give a good gift.
No, she
gift
give
was
good gifts.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's what
But
really
no.
wanted to make me buy another.
So I didn't actually. We actually had shrimp.
Yeah,
at the home buyer.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we fed them really good.
It was real
Nate
good.
took care of us.
Yeah.
Nate at Legacy took care of us.
Absolutely.
But another plug, we will be having the home buyer. and
Absolutely.
Legacy is one of the sponsors.
April-
as well as
Hop into it.
Malcolm.
So here y'all go. April the 13th
Absolutely. Drop it.
at the Point
Let's go.
in Fells Point.
Okay.
The Noakes Eddington Home Group will be hosting a home buyers happy hour. So you come, we'll probably get you a drink, and we'll have some food floating around, but come and have a good time and learn about the home buying process, and why you want us to be on your team and help you out and help you get there. So nice. You see what you get when you get Chaz,
Already,
right?
I see.
So the team is just an extension of that.
Absolutely.
And
That's what's up.
And this is where we're learning from. So
Right.
that's what you're gonna get.
That's
And
what it
that's
is.
the one thing, again, with our team is the entire team will be there. They'll be there welcoming. They've also invited guests to come. And then we'll just be talking about and mingling and just introducing ourselves and seeing what we can do to help promote home ownership.
If you need more information, you can follow us too.
Yeah, there you go.
We're
Drop it.
we're on Instagram.
Since you're there, go ahead and drop it. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we're on Instagram at the Noakes Eddington Home Group on Instagram. That's where you can follow us. You can get all of our information there. But we definitely want to see everybody register and see you at the Home Buyer Happy Hour on April the 13th. It's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30. So we're going to have some great appetizers there. We're going to have some drinks going on. We just want to have a good conversation with you to just let you know what you can do. And don't stop talking to everybody that's not the professional. Come here. It's going to be an easy atmosphere. Just laid back so that you can have a conversation. So tell a friend, April the 13th at the Point, the Noakes Eddington Home Group is hosting an awesome home buyers happy hour.
And it's best to RSVP.
Best to RSVP.
But they can pull up.
Best to RSVP. You can pull up, but
Okay.
RSVP so we can make sure we can take good care of you. Okay?
Yeah, I want them shrimp now. You better pull up.
All right.
Okay, make sure they have enough for you.
I forgot we did. It was good.
It was real good.
Yeah.
Okay, really quick. I just want to know because, again, like when we was off of camera, I told you guys that I met Inspire Realtor. What would you say to a younger person who is either in who's in real estate or who wants to become a real estate agent? Give them some inspiring, like come to my team.
Well, I'll start and say the best thing is to learn and learn. It's a lot to know. Like you go to real estate school, and real estate school is great. It teaches you a lot of things, but it teaches you to pass the test. It doesn't teach you how to write an effective contract. It doesn't teach you, how to engage with your clients and, talk to them about buying a home and get them on board. And it doesn't teach you how to lead gen and do certain things. So the advantage of us is that we do all of those things for our agents. We hold you accountable, and we teach and we train, and we do it together. Again, life happens. So there are times when you may not be able to meet up at the time that we schedule. We try to work around everyone's schedule. I think for us, we've been pretty successful with doing that. But the biggest thing for a real estate agent, and including myself, is to continue to learn, continue to develop, and network.
So Chaz has been a little modest, I think,
Uh-oh.
and I think that when it comes to like talking about why you should work with Chaz or get with Chaz, I think she always gets a little modest here, right? So one of the consensus, and I'm a new agent,
Okay.
so almost 2 years.
Agent.
All right, so so one of the things that I hear from a lot of agents is they aren't getting that training, or they feel like they want somebody to hold their hand, right? So Chaz literally holds your hand. She holds your hand all the way through a deal, and she will ask you, like, what do you want to do? What do you feel comfortable with? Like, okay, let's get there. But she's explaining things to you. She's explaining the process. She's explaining the contract. The first training that we had with our group was going over the contracts. So when we went over the contract, I mean, it's like 50 points on there, like number. It's like 50 points or whatever. So we went there. We sat there that whole night and went through everything. So when our agents had questions, Chaz was right there to answer those questions. Another thing is that I think working with us, like you get that. I'm not going to say instant access or right then and right there, right? We're in that age where we want stuff right there, then and now. Chaz will tell you, oh, if you send me your question, I'll be sure to get back to you, right? But even with that, she's been modest. I'll send Chaz a text or email and say, hey, I just sent you an email. Can you go over this? She'll say, yeah, I'm doing something, and I'll get to it. Give me about an hour. It'll be about 10 minutes later. Chaz is sending me screenshots, of stuff in the contract that I need to correct and showing me and explaining it to me, right? So that's what you want. Like, somebody's going to get you through it, making sure that you're protecting your client, making sure that your contract is tight. I mean, she's adamant about, put this part of the contract here, put this part there, so that your contract flows nicely, so that when you send it to your agent, so when you send it to that agent, they know what they're looking at, and you look like you have your stuff together, right? Absolutely. So now that's become important to me, because when the agent sends me an offer, I'm like, this is all over the place. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's some things that you want to get from it, and they don't teach you that in class. And then another thing that we do is, agents, you want to get your business going, right? So what we do with our agents is we give them leads, free leads every month, right? So is leads that we already have for them, but then through some of our relationships, we get additional leads from them as well, so that our agents can also build their business, right? So that's what you want as an agent. You're trying to get your foot out the door. You're trying to get things going. You're talking to people, but just that added extra that we're giving you to help, get your business going. I think that's a good reason to, at least come and have a conversation, and see what direction you can go and grow.
Absolutely. That's what.
And the other thing is that we go over things, but I also try to explain why I said this or why it should be this. Yeah. And again, you don't always have to use the same wording that I used, but I feel like I was trained by one of the best in the industry, and he helped me out. So I would love to offer that helping hand as well.
That's what it is. Oh, I know I'm inspired. I really feel like buying a house.
Come on, you ready for the apartment complex?
I was about to say, forget a house. Let me go get this multi.
But it's duplexes near where you are.
Is it?
Yes. So right there on that main street, that corner, that big intersection, it's like 2 duplexes right there.
For sale?
No, they're not for sale now.
Okay.
But
it's just the fact.
The fact that they're there, and a lot of people may not know that. Yeah. But there are 2 duplexes right there.
Didn't know that.
But guess what though? I got a little secret on finding off market. Units, let me say that. I got a secret on finding off market property. So, that's another benefit that come into our.
So listen, this is the answer and the question all right here. Like, y'all need to stop playing. Listen, I just want to say I appreciate you both.
Thank you
for coming to the D Zone and blessing us with these gems that you guys. Enlighten us on real estate, because a lot of us don't know, right? A lot of us listen to everyone else, but not the professionals. So really quickly, Chaz, if you can go ahead and drop your Instagram where we can find you, and also drop your first-time buyers.
Yes, so my Instagram is realtor_Chaz on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. My name, Chaz Noakes, Noakes. First name is spelled Chaz, Chaz. Again, we have our team event, which is a first-time home buyers happy hour. Again, drinks will be served. It is at the Point in Fells Point on April the 13th. And you'll see that posted. The link for that particular event is also posted in my story, and then it is posted on my page as well.
Already.
Yep.
Charles?
Yep, you can follow me at _realtor Charles. You can follow me right there. And the link is in my bio for the Home Buyer Happy Hour on April the 13th, 5:30 to 8:30. We suggest that you register. Make sure that you can get yourself a nice drink, get some eat, come and talk to us. But we got you covered. So it'll be a great event. So follow me at the _realtor Charles, and also follow us at the Noakes Eddington Home Group, all on Instagram. Follow us there. So, tag us, tell a friend.
Facts already. Listen, yeah, whoa. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of information. A lot of great information. I want to appreciate everybody for tapping into the D-Zone tonight. Monica Cooper, Siobhan Streety, we appreciate you. We got 44 hearts, 9 likes, so that's amazing. That means they are watching. Listen, I appreciate everyone for tuning into the D-Zone. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on the gram at the D-Zone Podcast, and also subscribe, like, and comment this podcast on YouTube. Listen, again, the more you support me, the more content we can push out. Listen, I really appreciate you guys. Peace, love, and happiness. Your girl D-Nice is out. We out.